Okay, g'day everybody. In this lesson I'm going to show you how to create a lower third title by using Photoshop. What you're going to need to do this is you're going to need an image a photograph of the famous landmark from around the world, and I'm just going to use this picture of the Eiffel Tower that I've got going on down here. The first thing I want you to do is go into open Photoshop, go into File, New, and let's just choose the print preset from up the top here, and let's just choose A4. Okay, that's going to get us the correct settings for printing on an A4 size sheet of paper. Click Create, and Photoshop creates our document, and this is called an artboard. This is what we work on in Photoshop. Now we want our picture. We want to put our picture of the Eiffel Tower on top of this. So if you in Photoshop, if you go to File and Open, find where you've put your picture that you found of the famous landmark. Mine's on my desktop. I'm going to click that and open it, and there it is there. You'll notice it opens on another tab. So I've got my artboard here, and I've got my photograph here. I want to put this onto my artboard, and so to do that, grab the Move tool, which is just up here, and then click and hold on your mouse, and just drag your mouse up all while holding the mouse button down. Hover over the tab and it'll change to your artboard, and while you're still holding, drag the mouse down there and let go of the mouse button. Okay, and that'll drop it on there. You'll notice it puts it on another layer. Okay, now let's reposition this with the Move tool still selected and drag it. Let's go down to about here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit by holding the Command key on the keyboard and pressing minus, and plus will zoom in and out. That's the good shortcuts. That's the shortcuts you'll need to know in Photoshop. Now, to resize it, I'm going to hold Command and press T. Alright, and I'm going to go to the corner, but instead of clicking and dragging it out straight away, I'm just going to hold Shift down, and I'm going to click and drag. That way, it's going to keep it all in proportion. Alright, if I don't hold Shift down and I drag up, look what can happen to your image. It can lose its proportional shape. Alright, so I'm going to hold Command and press Z to undo that, and go back to my corner and just hold Shift and drag it out. Now my photograph that I've got is bigger than the canvas, the artboard, sorry. So I'm just going to, there's just going to have to be some cropping that's going to take place, but that's fine. Once you're happy, and you can press Enter, and that'll get rid of the bounding box that's around it, and then you can position it how you like in your canvas, just like that. Okay. Now the next thing is we're going to use the Shape tool to create a rectangle on the background that we're going to place text on top of. So over here is your rectangle shape tool. If you can't see it, just click and hold, and you'll notice there are a whole heap of different shapes here that are hiding behind here. But let's just choose our rectangle tool, and let's just drag out a rectangle, say like this, by clicking and dragging. Alright, and it's going to fill it with black. Now our rectangle options, well, first of all, let's put it on a new layer for us. So we've got our rectangle layer there. And our options, our properties have come up here for the rectangle. So let's say I want to change the color. I can click the fill color here, and I can change it to, let's just say I want it yellow so it stands out. Or I might just have white. Okay, white could be nice because I'm going to put some text on top of it. Now that's the color of the fill, and if I want to, it also comes with a stroke. So if I click here, at the moment the stroke color is set to none. I could set the stroke is the outline around the shape. I could set it to like green, for example. You probably can't see it very well because it's only set to 1 pixels, but if I drag the pixels up, you can see that green stroke happening there. I kind of don't like that, so I'm going to go back and just set it to no stroke, just so I've got this white shape there. What else can you do in here? We can also change the style of the corners. If I want the corners a bit more rounded, I can do that. You probably won't see the effect take shape. I'm going to, unless I zoom right in here. Alright, and say you want to change the size of it, or I could even, sorry, not the size. If I wanted to change the size of it, what I can do is I can also just use Command T, free transform, and you could muck around with the size of it as you see fit, and when you're happy with it, just press Enter. The next thing I'm going to do is show you how you could probably, if you wanted to curve some of the corners, you could untick this And let's just delete that 0 and let's just type in 50 for example and press enter, and you'll notice that that corner has got a 50 pixel curve on it, and I might do the same thing for this corner just to make it look kind of cool. Alright, and so we've got two corners that are curved there, and you can muck around with the settings in here as you see fit. And the last thing I'm going to do is we're going to add some text over the top. So I'm just going to get the text tool here, and I might just click over here for the moment, and you'll notice we've got some text options up here, the size and everything. I might up the size a bit to about 24, and the colour, I can change the colour. I might change the colour just to black, so I can just drag this all the way down to the bottom corner till it gets there, then that's completely black. And I'm just going to type Eiffel Tower. Now, what's in advanced? Okay, if you click on advanced, let's just highlight this, and if you click on advanced, you'll get this tab that comes up here. Say I want to stretch the letters out a little bit, I can come down here, I can maybe stretch them out to 50, you can muck around, you can change the size, probably want it a bit bigger, I could change the colour, just muck around with these settings, but at the moment that's going to be pretty good. And then I'm going to click off, I'm going to drag this down onto my, on top of my shape. Now my rectangle is quite big, so I'm going to go back to my rectangle layer. I'm going to hold Command and press T, free transform, and I'm just going to grab the cursor. I'm going to drag this in slightly, just like that. Okay. Now what you can do, if I go back to the text layer and I get the text tool again, I can just highlight this letter here and do something that's called a drop cap. I might make it bigger than the rest of the text, like size 72, and I might make it a different colour, like I might choose red like that, so it kind of stands out. Okay, and I'm just going to move that back so it fits nicer on my lower third, on my shape, sorry. And what you could also do is go back to your rectangle layer, and you could drop the opacity of the layer, which is how much you can see through it, to maybe, I don't know, 50% or so. So it gives us, so you can kind of see some of the background coming through as well. That looks kind of cool. Okay, let's zoom out with Command minus and see how it's looking. It's pretty good, but I want to position it somewhere a bit nicer than that. So in order to do that, if I highlight the Eiffel Tower layer, hold the Shift key down and highlight the rectangle layer. They're linked together now, and now with the Move tool selected, I can move those two together and position it wherever I want, somewhere in the lower third of the image. Okay, I might just pop it there, make sure that it's kind of easy to read. Save your work, and that's it.